Thank you, Kirkora. Last month, my rural independent colleagues and I spoke of the Vulnerable Persons Bill, where we highlighted the vulnerability of elderly people. We are here again tonight speaking on elderly people and the difficulties that they face. Minister, is it not clear to you the fact that elderly issues are coming up here every day, sometimes several times a day? Elderly people have been raised here in the Dáil. That this surely highlights to you the seriousness of the issues that elderly people are facing. Elderly people are being victimised in this country. I have recently been told of the closure of the West Cork Carers Support Group in Bantry. This is a terrible loss to carers in Bantry. Not alone will Bantry be losing this facility, I am told today that the blood pressure clinic in Bantry is closing. The HSE are closing that down. Another attack on our elderly minister in Ireland. Minister, we can visually see the splashing around that has gone on, but nothing is happening on the ground. We have been seen shocking statistics released where it was reported that almost 10,000 elderly sick people in the last year were left waiting on hospital trolleys for over 24 hours. These shocking statistics has led to this being branded a national scandal. My fear, Minister, is that with the winter months upon us, that these numbers are going to rise again. In a 2012 HICU report, it suggests that best practice should be that a patient would only spend 6 hours or less in an emergency department. This government recently set a target in its own service plan of 24 hours or less. This is 18 hours more to be spent on a trolley than the HICU suggestion. Minister, we have elderly people in the country waiting on an acceptable waiting list for years for procedures. Some of these procedures could only take 15 minutes. And I want to know how you, Minister, think it is acceptable to ask a 90-year-old person to wait for up to 4 years for a cataract procedure. Many of our carers in Ireland are elderly, and I have raised time and time again in this very chamber the unacceptable situation where carers are waiting months for their carers allowance. How do you expect anyone to survive without money for months? I've been crying out for extra home help hours. When will this happen, Minister? The bottom line is that the elderly people in this country are feeling the brunt of the government's leadership, from the lack of home help hours to the lack of respite facilities, the long waiting times for procedures for delays in emergency departments.